Hey, hi, it's Barbara with Vintage Hotties Wine. I'm coming to you tonight to bring you the 1990s. Yes, that's my prime, that's my time. But how do I bring that trend forward, that 1990 trend that is in the market right now to you? So today we're going to discuss 8 key points. So you want to stick around for those points. Also, this will benefit you as a reseller to target this market and capture this in your own ways. So if you're in my age group, you grew it, you knew it, you know it, you can brag about it. So it's some earned times. So yes, I will be bringing you these points, and I will also be introducing to you the basic, and that is color. So we're going to work on 90s colors, and then we're going to discuss those target 8 keys in full detail, so you want to stick around. In the meantime, please like my channel and subscribe and share and tell a friend. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, welcome back. So I'm so happy to have you back and to be able to talk about the 1990s and color. So lots of color back then. Why, what, where, when. We're going to go over all those details. I have 8 keys to unlock doors for this new trend of the 1990s in the resale market. So if you're in that resale market, you want to stick around for that 8th key, because all of them really will help you generate some really good money and some prosperous sales. So that's what we want, right? We want to keep going, keep moving, stay with the new, and move that stuff out. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the key number 1. So functional. Who knew? The millennials want functional, you guys. They are, well, speak for myself, that's my child's era, right? So they're on the go. They don't have like bags to carry with them. They want minimal functional items that I'll get into the next key, but not so soon. So I'm going to start with color. So stick with me and let's start right over here. Okay, this here. Now, we're talking the 1990s. So what was going on in the 1990s? We had a new era of music. So we're kind of going from the 80s ballads into this, like a darker grunge. People were talking about war, and we had war going on back in Iraq. So there was a lot of that kind of stuff, surfacing and such. But there was 2 cultures really that were being divided. There was a pop culture coming in, which was the ice baby. Okay, I did it. And then there was the like the Nirvana. So with that whole era, it was kind of exciting too. I was a young mother, and I'm not going to give away my age so soon, But I was a young mother in the 1990s, and it was an era that I got to bring him up in, which was a popular era, a prosperous era, because it was a dot-com era. It was when the media launched YouTube. The media launched MTV. The media just took over and launched. So we went from, like a whole rock and roll ballads 80s to this really black era. So anyways, making the best of that era was, I have to say, the designs and the color. There was so much fun in the color that was being brought in, and so that's what we're going to talk about today, because I got to experience that era. And I was talking with several people today as I was scouting out there looking for those key number 2 1990s nostalgic items. Yes, nostalgic 1990s items. Now, this was my generation, right? These were things that would have been in my kitchen, in my living room. And I think back and I'm like, what did I have? I had so many cute things, so many different designs. It was always a theme. So here we go. It was a theme. That was when Spencer's was hot. And when you could go into I had it. I see I'm going that blank again. So there was like Spencer's and all the goth stores anyways. They're still there and it's making a comeback. I mean, we were wearing the rock and roll, t-shirts and leather jackets or flannels or hoodies, and it was a skateboard era. We were bringing it in, and we were raising our children in this era, and they got to experience life with us kind of growing up in the 90s, and it was fun nonetheless, but it was crazy all the best. So yeah. So without further ado, we've gone over 2 keys. We've gone over key number 1 was function. Key number 2 was, what did I say? I'm going to let you put that in the comments. So here we go. Why? Because I forgot key number 2. Nostalgic. Yes. It's such a precious word, Nostalgic. Okay. Here we go. So with color. Now, like I said, it was a very bright and poppy color era. We had splash art paints mixed with glitter, and it was just spread out or dripping, and kind of coming back to that now on white canvas walls and or on a background wall. And that's kind of how they did it. So you would always have a tiny pop of color here and a pop of color there and a pop of color there. So again, we're talking about 2 cultures. We're talking about the pop art and we're talking about the grunge. So let's go with pop art. So pop art was very bright and colorful. So you would see like kind of those like sweat like pants and jackets and such. And they they had like a stripe here or a different color pocket there, or one side one color, one side the other color. And it was just very poppy because it was rap, right? And so then here comes the 90s. And so there you go. It would be not a little bit of black, but a lot of black. And so you would get your pops of color and a lot of black. And so that's kind of how you would see things going into home decor too. So this could be your couch. Let's just say this was your couch. So we can put that there. And then here you might have had like little pops of pink here, there, and everywhere. So like kind of like that. And then you would have, of course, your primary color, which would be your black, which could have been a black carpet. So that was kind of 90s. And then not so much the green, but you kind of get the idea that black always brought things together. So even if we were to put a third color in there, it always had a contrast with black. So that was kind of an idea that I wanted to talk about with you. So I just went to my Hobby Lobby store and I just picked up a bunch of felts, and right when I walked in there, I actually saw some contrast ones and some prints that were, of course, you know, right where they needed to be. Now, so we're going to talk about colors. So there's two kind of yellows, right? So which yellow was it? This would be more of the 80s right here, like the bright canary yellow. So we're going to go with the muted yellow. It tones it down. And then you had the black and yellow. So this was really, really popular. So you had black and yellow. You had, and again, not so much like the bright Christmas red, but more of the like orange undertone red. And then you had the black and red. That was really super popular. Then everything had black. You had the black and green. Now the black and green for home decor, I always thought it was really super cool. Like, I'm going to show you something right now. So imagine what was really popular was that that poly glass-like furniture, things that were see-through. So chrome was really popular with like glass tops and stuff. So silver, so we're bringing in the silver to represent. And then we have the black and the green. And again, the black was always primary. So you might have this going on. Let's do it this way. Because it would be like, you know, maybe a green couch with clear glass chrome tables. Or it could have been more tamed down and had the black couch and black furniture, like black leather furniture with pops of green accents, and then of course the silver chrome. But again, in the 90s, there was always that third color. So black is not really a color. It was a cover for color because of that type of era. So how about we do this? Kind of, now we see that coming together kind of as a palette for that era. So you could have had a chair that was like zebra stripe. Maybe not even zebra stripe. I'm just bringing in the black and white. Maybe it was black and white striped or checkers. So you might have had a kitchen floor that was black and white checks, black leather furniture, home accessories in green, chrome furniture, accent pillows, accessories, and such. So that was a very, very cute look, and so I actually kind of like it. So that's something you can think about in bringing it back. Here was another fun one, which was bringing in contrast of print and color. And again, we're sticking with the furniture and the base, or, we'll go back and forth with stuff, but we'll go right here. And then again, the black. So here we have the zebra print with the floral print, and I'll let that actually come up to the camera. So it's that floral print, and then in this area, kind of like through this area here, the fill-ins, it's black and white. So, so you did the mixed prints, which was a little wild and crazy for those who were a little wild and crazy. So there's some design out there, when you're thinking maybe you have a chair done like this with a pillow on it done like this. Again, chrome glass tables, that poly type of table, or, just see-through items, and then primary black. So where you want to put your primary black is you can do anything with black. It does have a slimming effect to it, so you can use frames of black on a white wall. I mean, you can do so much. It was kind of also that era of black and white art too, and just kind of that being muted in the background with these little pops of color. So it was really, really fun to use colors back then. And keeping it going, I'm glad I got felts because I can just throw them around. This is kind of fun. So now when we were talking about how color blends went, there's just so many that you could have worked with back then. So this was, the magenta. That was really a popular color back then. Actually, I like that color. This was more into the 80s, where you would do almost the same thing. But when you did this, and you brought in a zebra pattern, now you brought in the 90s. So that was really, really fun and popular, and you still see it today, which is kind of cool. And I guess that's the purpose, right? Because it's making its comeback. And now the same thing, if it wasn't pink, it could be blue. And then again, there you go. So that was a really fun way of bringing in colors. So now I'm just going to be going over colors. We talked about pillows, chairs, furniture, walls, accessories, those kind of things. You just want to pick, they say 3 colors, and it works with 3. But again, we have the black. So you can also pop black in, very simple, like you don't even have to have that color, and you can just do this. But you have to have, instead of so you don't look like a jungle, you just have to do minimal of this and more of that. So, so it doesn't become overbearing. But when you bring in the third color, it like mutes it so it's not so strong. So that's super cool. And then another thing was really fun was, doing stuff like this. Just very, what we call shabby chic today, was really, really popular back then. So you might have seen this. I really like that. Super pretty. And this could have been a teapot. This could have been like one kitchen wall. This could have been maybe, I'm thinking like, let's just seat cushions on your kitchen dinette table, or pink roses in a vase. Just let your mind run with the colors in the print, and that would be just fine. Then we have, and we could just keep going and going and going and just pulling colors together. Let's see, what do we have? Cobalt blue became really popular in the 90s. And guess what? It's making a comeback. The sticker keeps showing. I didn't take, those little labels off. But cobalt blue was very fun, very poppy. It's a good mix and match one. You can do this. So cobalt blue, again, chrome and black. So that's just, very, just kind of stark and open and clean and crisp. And speaking in open, clean, and crisp, I think we have another key. So let's see. What do I want to pull out? When you are looking to buy items to design with or resale for the 1990s, because it was very, very busy in color. So you want to clean lines. Very, very, very clean, contemporary lines. You didn't have a whole lot of things laying around. It was very clean, very simple, maybe 1-2 items here. It wasn't a whole collected era, unless it was a collected era. So, again, there was that nostalgic thing. So that was key number 2. Key number 2, nostalgic and keeping clean lines. So whatever they want it to have memory, but they don't want it to consume them. And millennials are actually good buyers, but they want they keep it simple, and they're on the go. So they want clean lines. They need to have like good energy around them. They need to have like their minds going. They're very busy. They don't have time to like clean this or clean that. It's a very techno-fast world. I'm finding just little minute pieces of it as I get busy in this. And so it's just, clean lines. So that's something that's very important. So that's another key for you. So let's go over some trivia. I found these 1990s, and they're the decade of trivia for the 1990s. So I already kind of pulled out a couple, and I just want to maybe read 2, and then we'll go over some more colors, and then we'll go over some more key points. So here is one for you. in, okay, so I am 53 years old, right? That's how old I am at the time that this video was made. How old was I in 1990? So from this day forward, I want to see, and I will be reading into my future, that I will have these comments of people guessing how old I was in 1990 at 53. Okay, that's rocket science, right? Okay, all right. And then the other one is, let's see, who played the character Edward Scissorhands in that movie? So there's that trivia. Okay, so who played the character in Edward Scissorhands? And so yeah. Okay. Back to color all over the floor. I just saw this one here. So there was a pink and blue era. Everything was pink and blue. But it wasn't baby pink and baby blue. It was magenta. And this is not cobalt blue. It is kind of a turquoise blue. But that was really popular. And you can find, just a lot of t-shirts like this, or mix match in like tank tops or whatever. I mean, they would wear tank tops over tank tops, kind of like muscle jerseys and stuff. And of course, they would have black. And it was, I don't know, it was a big era where it was just a lot of black too. So, it was just fun. Things that we got to experience back then. There was so much, transition from music into music videos. And it was everywhere. Like, everywhere you went, there was just, video on play, and it was new, and everybody was really excited. So that was really cool. There was the, the new era of technology where we went kind of from like, typewriters to keyboards, and that madness of, what is this? And now it's just our everyday. Just crazy fun stuff. But it just kept going. And, and then it just ended. And we went into the new decade. And, a lot of things kind of changed, but didn't change. I think, the 2000 era really just kind of took everything and made it its own world. But, prior to 2000, it was like every year had its identity. So it was really cool. So anyways, I'm going to just bring you these key points, and I'll start from the beginning to end. I'm going to lock them all down for you. So just go ahead and keep these to note. When you're out there, if you are a reseller, you want to source this way. It will help you generate sales, which entice buyers that are actually looking for things such as this. So 1990s, we're thinking light and bright. We're working with a bunch of colors, and the primary functional after is black. So black is not a color, but back then it was primary. And it was also everybody's favorite color. If you asked them what their favorite color was, they would say black. So, and if you came back at them, they would say white. Whatever, it was just very black and white. So the key number 1 was functional. Key number 2, we'll just go through my list the way I have them here too. Key number one, functional. So whatever you get, it has to be functional. If it's nostalgic, you'll get their attention. Here's a teapot. This teapot has function to it because it's a teapot and it entertains and it's nostalgic. They're also looking for the clean lines. Does this have a clean line? No, it does not have clean line, but you can put it in clean space with a background of muted, kind of like that. And I don't know if you can see totally what I'm doing there, but anyways, you know, just kind of muting it down, and then you're cleaning the line up. So you're not going to put 4 of these in there, you're going to put 1. So, functional, minimal, nostalgic, clean lines, statement pieces. Statement pieces that entertain, you know, that bring something nostalgic to the table, but has room for functions. So the millennials are really big on clean air, and they are on this on the rise of educating themselves with the benefits of plants. And so nostalgic, something they may have seen or had in their mother's house, and functional because it's a planter and it's a statement piece. So it speaks volume, it has function, and it is nostalgic because this may have been something that I would have had that my son may have remembered. My mom had that. I want that. He would never. But anyway, I'm just saying, he would be more like, hey, my mom had that bulldog coffee cup. I want that. Yeah, that might be something that he would, you know, be like, I'm going to grab that. But this, no. It is very feminine. So, and that's fine for us feminine ladies. So next, okay, so statement pieces. Small. Millennials are on the go. People are on the go. So small, functional, minimal, nostalgic, clean lines. Color. So again, I keep losing my stuff over here. So again, color, 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 color. Lots of color. And patterns. And black. I mean, it was just so simple to put things together back then. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? So you can think, you know, like a farmhouse kitchen, but with 90s colors. Yeah, pretty fun. So, color, 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 black. Okay, so it's that simple. And then splash art. You can make your own. You can go find it if you can. Some of it kind of got old in, it was mixed with like paint and plaster and all these other materials, sand, and I know that, you know, just over those years, you know, not being treated well, a lot of that stuff was just gone. Like, I go reselling all the time, and I don't really see anything from the 90s. The only thing I have is memories of it, and the things that we would get from, you know, all of these, like, pop rock stores and stuff. I don't really see it in the resale market, so it's kind of, you know, you're going with either the very, very vintage pieces, which are beyond the 90s, which would be something that my era would have had in the household. But for the era of like modern wear in the 90s that the kids today are looking for, it's hard to find. So look at those items. I suggest that you do some research on those items. So here's a quick way of thinking about it. You're going to just look for functional, nostalgic, small pieces. So in those three things, you'll get minimal, you'll get clean lines, you'll get statement pieces, you'll get color and a splash of black, and such as that. So those are the 8 keys. I have one more trivia question, and so where's that one? I think it's this one. I had a 3-year-old son in 1990. How old is he today? Okay, there you go. There's the other one. And then one more real trivia from the 1990s. And let's see, which one do we want to kind of close out with? We'll go with, what heavy metal band released, commonly referred to as the Black Album? So again, what heavy metal band released a record commonly referred to as the Black Album? Looking forward in the comments. Once again, I'm Barbara with Vintage Hotties 1. I am a reseller. I use e-commerce platforms. Currently, my store is in the description, so please take a look at what I carry. I do have some of the 90s items listed there for you to view and purchase if you should like. Anyhow, welcome. I'm going to keep coming back, so keep coming back and let's have some fun. I'll bring in vintage hauls, my future video. After this one, I am going to talk about another current trend, and that's cottagecore. So come back for that one. And in the meantime, stick around, like, subscribe, share. I could take all the encouragement. So blessings. Bye.